Hey guys, it's been a while. Not since you've seen me, but since you've seen my hair. It's been a while since you've seen my hair. It's still here. It's still getting longer. I need to do something with it very soon, but we're going to get to that later. For now, obviously, if you're here, you must have some sort of interest. I don't know how you would wind up here accidentally, but this is some sort of like a 2020 recap that I'm doing. I'm just kind of going over how my channel kind of started, everything we've sort of checked out, the highlights, so to speak, and kind of where we are now. And I know a lot of you may not care to hear everything. You might only be here to see certain things. And that's totally okay. I'm going to have timestamps in the description for everything. You can just navigate the little slidey bar and jump to whatever segment you want to watch. I'm a firm believer in no clickbait, and I don't like to add in a lot of extra junk before my videos. I like to get straight into the content within less than a minute usually. And that's just how I like to do things. So feel free. If you need to skip ahead to a segment that interests you and you don't care about something, go right ahead. That's why the timestamps are there for you. But first, we're gonna just get into a very broad sort of channel summary, and you'll see right here I've spent the last probably what time is it right now? It's after 3 a.m. What am I doing right now? I've had a lot of wine, so that's why we're still here functioning. I've spent I don't know how many 4 hours maybe now dabbling in YouTube analytics, figuring out Google Data Studio and how to sort of export a lot of this data into Google Data Studio for me to sort of look at. And that's what you're seeing here. So we're going to just kind of hop in here with the general sort of channel summary on everything that's happened. And this right here, this is a spreadsheet of every video that I've uploaded since I started on January 28th, 2020. That's a lot. There's Slipknot. That's a lot. So as you can see, 647 songs or uploads that I've listened to. That's a lot. I did the math. 338 days since my channel was created. That's an average of 1.9 uploads per day. And I try to do 2 to 3 a day, but some days I miss, especially I've missed quite a few recently with the holidays, so I apologize for that, but that's a lot. That's a lot of music. That's 98 new artists. I went through and I tallied up the entire, all the different artists I've listened to. That's 98 artists, 647 songs in 338 days. That's freaking crazy. And of course, none of this would have been possible without you guys and all of your amazing suggestions. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a lot of new music for me and probably for the average person to discover and listen to in less than a year, not even a whole year. So I really appreciate that. Really, really awesome. And I'm stoked. I'm seeing all this right here. Like I can't even believe it myself. This other column here, this is watch time. I don't know. I couldn't fix this. I couldn't understand what it was. I don't know if it's in like minutes. I think it's in minutes. I'm not sure. Google did some really crazy stuff when it was exporting. This is days. It's supposed to be the date, but it's actually how many days from today back. So for example, this one here, a Skylit Drive, this is 4 days ago is what this means. 296 days ago. I tried to get the formatting to, I don't know. I'm not concerned about this junk really. I was just really more interested to see how many songs and list them in alphabetical order so I could see how many artists and things like that. YouTube analytics is pretty sort of it's pretty broad, so you don't get to see this sort of detail, especially at this scale. You can only see the most recent like 50 on YouTube. So I had to figure out how to export that into Google Data Studios. Long story short, then export that into Google Sheets, so then I could have a spreadsheet to work with. Yada yada yada. So here we are. That's a lot of music. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Subscriber count. I set a very ambitious goal of 10,000 by the end of the year. We didn't hit it, of course. We are at 9,147 at the recording of this video. And Hey, I cannot thank you guys enough. That is so freaking unreal. Um, Honestly, when I uploaded my very first video, which I just went back and watched actually, and nearly cringed myself into shutting my computer off, I did not think a single person would even see my video, let alone like it, let alone provide me suggestions, which then led to suggestions, which then led to more people and more suggestions. And then here we are with all of these videos seen, all of these artists discovered, all of these songs heard. Um, Really, really amazing. So thank you again for all the support. I cannot believe that I'm here in this position, and I'm just really thankful. So thanks, guys. We're gonna hit that 10,000 very soon. I updated the goal to January 28th of this month. So that would be an actual year from when I started my channel. So I think that's a more I think we can do that. I think we can do that. So we'll see. We'll see. And then after that, I'm gonna be setting a goal of 25,000 for next year, which is again very ambitious. But I like to shoot high. I like high expectations, and it just really gives me something to work for, keeps me motivated. So we'll see. We'll see. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about state of Twitch streaming, because I have not been Twitch streaming like at all, and I have a link to my Twitch down below in the description of every video, and I've mentioned it briefly in the past every now and then. And the reason why I haven't been Twitch streaming as much as I wanted to, really at all, is because my PC simply can't handle it. I thought it could. My graphics card is, I think, 6 years old now. It's a GTX 970, and I've been desperately wanting to upgrade it with the new RTX 3000 series with Nvidia, but they're just, you can't get them. They've been out for a couple months now, and you can't get them. As soon as they're stocked, scalpers and bots buy them, and then they're reselling them for twice the price on eBay. So once I can get my hands on a graphics card, I might have something to actually work with, and then I can actually start streaming. And I really want to do that just so I can sort of interact with a lot of you more, and then you can see kind of what games I'm interested in, what I'm playing in my off time, and things like that. So I'm really just sort of waiting on a graphics card, honestly. I tried streaming. Even on the lowest settings, my GPU is just taxed 100%. It's dropping so many frames, it's not even worth watching. So, as soon as we get a graphics card, we're going to be streaming. And I also am not 100% committed to Twitch yet. I'm not 100% committed. I may consider actually streaming here on YouTube. One, because it's where my audience is, and it's pretty hard to transition an audience to a different platform, in my opinion. I just think it's a little bit more difficult. And two, Twitch is like doing some really weird stuff. I watch a lot of live streamers on there, and they're just doing a lot of weird stuff with their rules. They're randomly banning really popular people and not releasing statements why. They're really cracking down on these very bizarre rules that they're creating regarding language and music. I mean, people are like so scared to play music on their channels now for fear of just getting completely banned for playing a song accidentally. I was watching some people playing the new Spider-Man. They basically had to play Spider-Man Miles something or other. A huge core part of that gameplay was in your downtime while you're going from place to place. Your character's listening to music, and all of that music is blocked with DMCA. And if you're playing that on your live stream, it's getting shut down. It's crazy. Now, I don't know if YouTube has those similar rules or whatnot, but I don't think it's as strict. So I need to do more research on that. But I may, once I get a graphics card and all that sorted out, I may come to YouTube for streaming. Okay, enough talk about streaming. Let's get back into some channel content. I want to talk about really sort of who was responsible for the channel growth and the sort of spikes in not just subscribers but overall viewership and just a lot of attention. And really, I've got a list here of artists where this all kind of started. And really, the channel did start with Falling in Reverse, but that quickly transitioned into Slipknot, which I ended up listening to their entire discography, which is crazy. There was what, 80, 83, 84 songs I listened to. That's nuts. That then transitioned into, well, really alongside that was with JINJER. Listened to a lot of JINJER, a lot of Slipknot. Then we got into Icy Stars, listened to almost the entire Icy Stars discography. Amazing stuff. Then we got into Dance Gavin Dance. We're still chugging along through that. Been quite a journey there. Still got so much more to go. Then we hit Bring Me the Horizon. As soon as I started listening to some Bring Me the Horizon through your guys' suggestions, more and more people started coming in, and more suggestions. And then we hit Nightwish. And it freaking exploded. And then before that, I should actually mention before Nightwish was Eskimo Callboy. And oh my gosh, when Hypa Hypa came out, and I was getting spammed to listen to that, and I started watching this, I'm just like, dude, what in the world am I watching? And I was enjoying it, but I was like, is this like a gimmick? Like, what is this? That's still my most viewed song to date. It exploded out of nowhere. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm just broke and decided to put some no-name content creator like myself at the top of results. I don't know what happened, but when that came out, the views were shooting up like crazy, and I was like freaking out. I didn't know what was happening. I thought something was broken, and that attracted a lot of people. Eskimo Callboy is a really cool band. Started listening to a lot of that. Then we got into Nightwish. Huge Nightwish army out there. I know you guys are out there. Amazing, amazing band. And then now we've sort of hit this baby metal explosion, or piggybacking off of Bring Me the Horizon, I guess, with their latest release, Kingslayer. And man, the audience with baby metal is just as big, if Nightwish, if not bigger. Crazy big audiences, and everyone's just flooding in and providing me with so many suggestions for songs to listen to, and it's amazing. So thank you guys so much for that. I guess I should also mention that a large portion of the audiences here today found me through Ronnie Radke roasting me, notably calling me Mark Zuckerberg. So if you're still here watching, thanks for being here, I guess. And I don't think I look like Mark Zuckerberg, but so many of you disagree, so I'll just leave it as is. And yeah, thanks for being here. Now I think it's only fair I went through and I compiled a list here of top 3 songs from each of those bands that were, in my opinion, responsible for the majority of the channel growth. I know I've listened to, what did I say, 98 bands, but those would be the top, in my opinion, responsible for where we are today. And I went through and I listened to a lot, sort of like refresh myself on a lot of the songs, and I picked a top 3. Now this was hard. This is hard because especially when I've listened to the entire discography for like Slipknot and Icy Stars, Dance Gavin Dance. I've listened to so many. It's hard to pick 3. It really is, but I tried really hard, and I tried really hard to pick a top 3. So I'm gonna have this broken down. So if you guys don't care about certain bands, you can skip down below. Starting with Slipknot, my top 3, and again this is hard. I went with If Rain Is What You Want. I absolutely loved that track. It was so slow and so different. Unsainted. That's just one of the biggest tracks out there, and for a very good reason. Amazing track. And I really, really like Dead Memories. So those are going to be my top 3 for Slipknot. Moving on to JINJER. We've got Judgment and Punishment. Freaking love that song. I Speak Astronomy. That was one of the songs that really, really surprised me with the clean vocals and the music video as well, with this really cool space effects, and I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. And Pausing Death, pretty intense. I really like that track. For I See Stars, all the I See Stars fans, my top 3, Murder Mitten. That's my all-time favorite. That's my number 1, but it's in the top 3. NZT 48, absolute banger. Love that one. And Break off of their newest album. Really, really like that track too. Eskimo Callboy, of course. Hypa Hypa. How could I leave that one out? Hypa Hypa was a very surprising and interesting track. First of its kind, in my opinion, that I've heard something like that. And I thought it was really cool, especially the video. Crystals, a really heavy track. Love that one. It's on my gym playlist. And Final Dance. I really, really like that song as well. Dance Gavin Dance. There are so many of you out there who are huge DGG fans and have been suggesting and following the entire way. So thank you for being here. And I've got a top 3 so far because we still have so many more to listen to. These are Lemon Meringue Tie. I love that track, and I think it was one of the first that I heard off of Downtown Battle Mountain, actually. Loved it. Me and Zoloft Get Along Just Fine. Awesome track. Loved that one. And Blue Dream. Blue Dream was the one track that I think surprised me so far out of the most. The vibe on that one is just unmatched. Amazing song. Bring Me the Horizon. Top 3 for Bring Me the Horizon. We have Sleepwalking. Loved it. So good. Parasite Eve. Oh my gosh. When that came out, I probably had that on repeat for like a week. Every time I was going to the gym, that's the track I was listening to. I loved it. And Doomed live at the Royal Albert Hall. I think that was actually the first Bring Me the Horizon track that you guys recommended to me, I think. And oh my gosh, just incredible. Everything that I've heard at that venue is just amazing, and it's just really one of a kind having a full orchestra there. So that track was absolutely amazing. For the huge Nightwish army out there, I hope I don't disappoint with my 3 picks here, but I Want My Tears Back, amazing track. Yours is an Empty Hope, pretty heavy. Really, really like that. And actually, my third one might surprise you. It's the High Hopes cover, the Marco only. I thought that was absolutely amazing. I really, really love that. That's in my top all time. Not just top, that might be my number one. I don't know. Floor is amazing, but there was something about that. There was just something about that that I really, really loved. So that is my top 3 for Nightwish. And of course, now we are here to Baby Metal. And I've only heard, a handful, but enough that I could pick a top 3. So my top 3 are going to be Megitsune. I think I pronounced that right, guys. You corrected me last time, so thank you. Headbanger. It was a headbanger, that's for sure. And Sis Anger. I love that one as well. Okay, my next category here is, I guess, my current most listened to bands, or I guess you could say bands that I have on repeat, what I seem to be listening to at some point every single day. And those artists are Spirit Box, Architects, Hollowfront, Crystal Lake, NF, J Kill, Josh Hay, and Invent Animate. Those are I probably listen to all of them or some of them at least at some point throughout every single day. Spirit Box every single day. That has become, I think, one of my favorite bands of all time at this point. Courtney is just unmatched. She really is. Architects sort of kind of came out of nowhere, and they've definitely gone way up there as a favorite band of all time. Same for Hollowfront, and they're pretty underrated. They don't have a lot of views, especially on my channel, and I think they are extremely underrated. They need to be way more popular. I think they are amazing, and I love them. I listen to them all the time. Crystal Lake, Rio coming in with crazy vocals, and their entire instrumentals are just so well developed, and I love it. It's just such a hype every time I listen to their tracks. NF, and he hasn't been on my channel at all, but it's because I've heard his entire discography a million times. And, well, I don't want to put that on the channel. I've already heard it. I'm waiting on him to drop a new album. I don't know when it's coming. I'm sure everybody's wondering because nothing new aside from that Chasing demo has popped up in 2020. So what are you doing, NF? I want some new music. I know people ask you that all the time, but I need something. So I listen to NF all the time. J Kill and Josh Shea, everything that I've heard from these guys are amazing, and I'm listening to that all the time, as well as Invent Animate. Their guitar work is just so good, and it gets me so hyped up, so I'm listening to them a lot as well. Okay, I need to wrap this up soon. I'm borderline slurring over my words. I've had so much wine, but I worked really hard on this list, so we're gonna finish it up here. My last category, I guess, is what I listen to on a daily basis, which kind of relates back to the last category I just had, but this is more sort of categorized as far as like what I'm listening to when I'm doing something. So, for example, when I'm driving to work or when I'm just driving really in general, I'm usually listening to Dance Gavin Dance. They're just a really feel good kind of band that is just something that I really like to listen to when I'm driving. I don't know, gets me in a good mood. Love listening to them while I'm driving. When I'm at the gym, it's really a combination of my most listened to bands in my previous category, but notable others such as Icy Stars, Breakdown of Sanity, Polaris, and Asking Alexandria, and I'm sure there are cherry-picked songs from many, many more artists that I've heard on the channel. But there's just really too many to name, so I'm sorry if I didn't name the artist that you were looking for, but I really do listen to quite a variety on my gym playlist. There are so many hype songs out there. And in my last category, I guess, would be my downtime. My downtime, I guess, is when I'm just here doing stuff on my computer, or I'm gaming, or I don't know if I'm in the other room cooking in the kitchen or something. That's a combination of what I have playing in the background right now, which is some lo-fi hip hop that is just great tunes, great background music for really any occasion, in my opinion. So I'm listening to lo-fi a lot, as well as some chill step, synthwave mixes, liquid drum and bass, a lot of really like instrumental stuff, chill stuff, jazzy stuff, atmospheric stuff, things that are just a good vibe and put me in a good mood. But if I am listening to something with lyrics, there are a couple very chill rap artists I listen to that are not well known at all, and no one has probably ever heard of them. They're called Darcy and Raylist. Darcy and Raylist. Those are two separate artists, and they are, in my opinion, amazing. They are very chill, sort of electronic, um, slightly auto-tuned, but not the bad auto-tune. It's just like a really good vibe. I don't know. They're not popular at all, but I listen to them a lot in my downtime as well, usually when I'm in the shower or something. I think that about wraps that up. And we can't forget the pup. How much have you changed since the channel started? You gotten so much bigger. What's up there? Can you say hi to the camera? What's that up there? Is that the camera? How big have you gotten? Where you going? I think he wants to go outside. He's getting upset. We'll go out there in a minute. In just a minute. I'm trying to finish my YouTube videos. I'm gonna flash an image on the screen of what he looked like at the start of this back in January. I'm sure he was a little nugget walking around in the background. We've updated the setup a little bit. You know, I put in the pup cam, which I think a lot of people are actually here because of him, not me. To be completely honest, I see almost more comments about him in the background than what I'm doing. And I mean, you know, that's okay with me. If you guys are here for Apollo and not me, whatever. That's what the pup cam's for, right? Oh, you can't see him. I'm petting him off camera. Let me turn this. Oh, look at him. He does not look happy, but he's a happy boy. You're just tired. It's almost 4 a.m. guys, and we're doing this right now. And I'm going to upload this tonight too, so it's going to be a late one. That's why I also want to do more live streaming, so you guys can see what he's up to in the moment. Not just sleeping on the couch or the cot. Okay, you've watched enough of me petting my dog. So there you have it, guys. That is my 2020 recap. If I missed anything that you wanted me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. As always, you guys know I read them. And maybe I'll release another video, like a follow-up. If there's like a FAQ or like a Q&A or something, maybe I can do like some sort of poll or something. I don't want to bore you guys with stuff about my life, but if you're interested in things, I'm more than happy to share. But yeah, just let me know. Hopefully this was informative and that you enjoyed it. And I'm not going to ask you to like the video because I don't do that, but if you want to, go ahead. I guess I just did, didn't I? I'm sorry, guys. If you're still here, if you're still watching, thank you so much, okay? Subscribe or don't, and I will see you on the next one.